But KSV Black and Ballistix still highly prioritizing them. Here are our map bans. Cursed Hollow banned by KSV Black. We will have Volskaya banned by Ballistix. We're headed to BOE, both of these teams' best map for game number 1. This is going to be a fiery starting map.
And I see a few other maps that are open. Raxus, possibly. Maybe they're thinking of that map. But BOE, I think this is the one they can test each other the best. Of course, Hanzo stays on top for both teams. Rich playing Hanzo, SC playing Hanzo, who knows? But Ballistix, they also have their Vala. They have so many counters and picks they used to play. They can always take that out and make it work. That's the team that that's the kind of team that we have right now here at KSV Black and Ballistix. This is going to be a powerful series, Wolf.
So, given that this is Phoenix's worst map, is there a chance he's left open?
Just through the draft, maybe.
This might be the first time we see today a first ban Hanzo from KSV Black. No other team would ban this. We're talking about SC's Hanzo here.
Nice call.
He would pick it 100% first. They'll probably move towards a Malfurion pick now. Medivh is open, but it's not really a high priority pick for Ballistix. But I love the adjustment here already for KSV Black to grab this Hanzo. I do not think we will see Phoenix in this first game. Ballistix is giving considerations now to whether to prioritize the Malfurion that synergizes with several different heroes, leaves the Tracer open, or moving down the route of the Medivh that they're less practiced on, at least in terms of tournament matches.
Yep, which they also have not really shown on competitive HGC. Maybe just picking Genji and seeing whatever they would come out with KSV Black, they can counter it pretty hard. And as CSC, when that Hanzo was banned out, most of the case was Genji first pick. And they will continue that trend.
So, KSV Black, when given situations like this in the past, before the Malfurion meta, would always pick the Uther here in first rotation with a strong hero like Greymane. That was the Phase 1 meta where they were defeated by Ballistix this season. But now we move into this Malfurion-dominated meta where he suits well with any heroes. And because these two teams will be looking for the DPSs first, you have to imagine a Tracer Malfurion composition here, or rather rotation for KSV Black, is potentially on the cards. But they will pick the Phoenix. Did not expect to see this one. Phoenix here, ignoring the Malfurion.
The first Phoenix from KSV Black. Oh man, and they get their favorite Garrosh. I wanted to highlight the tank lineup here as Tis versus Hooligan. As basically last phase, when they were last part when they were up against each other, Tis was playing Muradin 4 times. I think that was what pretty much lost them the series, because he was always falling behind, getting caught with the toss. But he has been focusing on the Garrosh so much more, and he gets the favorite. Hooligan, without the Garrosh, has been suffering a little bit, especially against it when he was playing that ETC. Also throws a little bit a few times.
There have been some weak moments, no doubt, for Hooligan this season, and don't want to call him a weak link, but there have been moments of carelessness when he's not running the Garrosh, almost feeling like he's playing with the armor he doesn't have. We will see the Abathur Tyrael Genji comp coming out here. This was the movement that Ballistix went towards when Hanzo was target banned against them. SC, unable to play the Hanzo several times, looked for another way to carry. This is going to be their plan again. They have the Abathur for Genji clones. Tyrael makes it so much easier to utilize. And chasing and looking for kills against this mobile composition with the Phoenix is not going to be easy.
Yeah, and they have tested this multiple times. And on this map too against Galuk with Rehgar, and Arthur's just finishing up. They also had Tychus in this case, but having Tyrael, I think it's a better one, along with Genji. Cloning Genji and targeting one. I think even Phoenix cannot be too safe with the Warp as an escaping tool, but Genji will be just chasing that range. I think that they have about the same range of escape.
Yeah. So when you ban here to try to control this solo lane against the Abathur, we often see Dahaka as the pick, where you have Abathur body soaking top. You see sometimes that kind of 4-man with Abathur hat pushing the bottom lane very strong. So you have the rotation of Dahaka pushing, instead of rotating down to look for backline picks, pushing the Abathur's setup. So it could be very annoying and difficult to deal with. We have seen Ballistix actually a few times run Abathur as solo laner as well, leaving him in the top lane and actually not having a traditional solo laner, normally with Zeratul or more mobile compositions, but Zeratul is Void Prison being banned, probably not going to happen.
This Blaze, they want to secure an exit for the support and Phoenix maybe. Having a solid front line. Seems like a very, very strong, but Phoenix, if he's not able to put out that output, I wonder what the 5th pick is going to be. Very likely something like a Tychus or even a Junkrat if they want to think about it.
Yeah. I like the idea of grabbing a very tanky support here, like a Muradin even. With the Abathur, it gets more attack speed. Abathur hats can really empower Muradin in situations like this. If they want to run a main tank with this, not a traditional soul laner, using that flexibility I was talking about with the Abathur before. Otherwise here, if you take the Dahaka pick, can be quite strong still. And you're going to be going up against the Blaze. Malthael, already have the Tyrael on your side. But it's going to be very difficult to use Malthael against Phoenix because it's going to be able to kite you down, burn you down a lot of the time in fights. And also, even Phoenix's Q can really slow and hurt the chances of Malthael from approaching. They go for the Arthas. This is even riskier, I think, in a lot of ways because of that range damage on the side of KSV Black.
They tried this last time. It was not the same pick, though. They had Arthas against Gulug. But they also had a secondary damage source, Tychus, the one that SD always plays. Having double tank in this matchup seems a little bit too hard. Maybe Clone Genji will not be enough damage to burst through that armor of Garrosh, also to the bunker from Blaze. There are so many safety tools from Black.
Yeah, it's going to be about Phoenix. He has to position correctly. If he does, then there's no one for Genji to kill, especially post 13 with Ice Block.
Of course, Malfurion that you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Phoenix with Ice Block will be
No, yeah. So I'm just saying, like, with Phoenix positions correctly, and Malfurion is at the back and has Ice Block, who are you really trying to kill? Junkrat, who might be their next pick here.
I don't think Junkrat fits here because there's too much shield from Tyrael that the range damage will not be enough. And they go with the false stat.
So this is going to eliminate a lot of the extra global control that Abathur can give you on this map with his ability to use his hats to globally soak and obviously body soak while giving pressure in the 4-man lane. So Falstad a great choice here. Reset has been really prioritizing the Falstad this season as we're seeing more and more of it. He's 7-0 on the hero currently. It's his second most played hero next to Greymane season-wide. So even though Greymane was the most meta assassin for the entirety of Part 1, Falstad is about to pass him for this specific play Reset. So very exciting times here. Great first game to start us off. Phoenix already, both teams' best maps. BOE, let's jump into game number 1. KSV Black against Ballistix.
Will be a different one. Falstad against Clone Genji. That will be very tough, even if Reset is on that Falstad. I wonder how well we can play against those ninjas just diving on that birdie. It is going to be tough, very tough.
It is going to be difficult against Clone Genji. And we have seen this fail against Ballistix many times leading up to tonight's match. Have seen Clone Rhaegars a few times. Look at the scoreline here on the maps. 8-1, 8-2. Very high win rates here.
Almost neck and neck here. As you might be thinking after watching Ballistix team comp, what is this? Do they even have enough damage? How is Genji going to get the kill? It happened. With the clone, also Rhaegar did a lot of damage diving in along with the Genji. So they can actually make this work, but what KSV Black has right now against them seems very tanky.
It certainly is. Phoenix is obviously not very tanky, but has shields and will be difficult to kill once the shields regen, so you can harass him and then he just shields back up, comes back into the fight. Very difficult to harass this type of hero. He's not going to have to hearth or tap as often because of his shield mechanic, but if he positions well...
Are they going for the relic strategy?
It looks like they might be. They're taking the long way around here. If Kyocha gets... Okay, they're just going to steal his camp. I was going to say, if Kyocha overextends in lane, they can get him, but he's very far away from that.
After spotting them, after not really spotting them on the map, Falstad actually took the flight to the bottom, maybe thinking there's something up. Because Blaze can basically sustain himself. It's not going to be big of a risk. So this will be a trade between these two teams.
Straight up even. Let's keep an eye on Rich's Phoenix build here. He is going for the mobile offense. at level 1. This is the first we saw from SDE as well. They went into the teleport build. So very much sticking with the same strategy thus far. As we mentioned earlier, reset 7-0 on this fall stat. They do actually commit heavily with this camp that they have, doing a lot of damage, a lot of pressure here. Grab onto SC, forcing him to use mobility options.
They have lots of range, lots of contest against what Ballistix has. Barely any pokes will come out. So they are trying to maximize the push. At least they have Hooligan with the shield, so they can be delayed a little bit. So that's, I think, why they made that initial big rotation to the top, because they were going to lose this bottom lane.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that. With Rich having his disruption mode open, you can even see what his Q can do. Very difficult to deal with. Rich can draw the boundaries of what Phoenix is able to do. Go low on shields, walk away. I like this setup, trying to... They were hoping that KSV Black would take the bait on that top push, and then they could look for a pick here, slow the rotation. Either way, even though KSV Black doesn't go up, they still do a lot of damage to that top wall. Gonna take out this first cannon tower. They want the second one. Not going to be lucky enough to get it. It's not going to be, actually, the warp resets on this map for Phoenix. It's going for the emergency protocol,
yeah,
so
more
he
common.
gets speed.
A lot more common with the basic attack build. Saw this build a lot from the other region. The warp build is very good, but very risky at times. So I think he wants to take it safely.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up against dive, where they're coming to you and trying to get onto the backline and kill you, you want to actually have that extra mobility rather than reset damage. That's not really strong against this situation. Oh, look at all that groundbreaker stun coming through. Tist is caught, though. Ballistix is going deep for him. We'll get away with that 31 armor. Look at what Falstad's able to accomplish right now, though. This really limits some of Abathur's viability. You can see he's trying to hat to deal with that camp, but not going to be possible when there's a Falstad pushing with it. And Phoenix just does so much auto-attack damage here, but Falstad not being here means that Ballistix will win the first phase.
They don't really want to control the macro, but they want to get the objective to follow it up. Because they want to really focus on to one target. Rich soaking in some damage, warps out of the fight zone.
And we'll get healed up here. Okay, toss is coming through onto the Arthas. Arthas no escapes. Jungha is focused down. He goes down. This is an opportunity for KSV Black after this first blood to really push this fight. Take out those mines as well. Rich just soloing this Immortal while they defend it. SDE trying to do what he can with his Locust and this hat to defend this bot for, but it's not going to happen. The Shaman camp continues to push. Falstad having such a huge effect on the macro in this map.
And SDE goes in and will get the kill, but may have to sacrifice himself also. That's going to be a trade with an even one. Arthas having dead. It's a lot of time for Rich to burn down that Immortal.
Yep. 2,000 shields left. Reset and Rich is going to burn this one down. They will win the fight. Barely 300 hit points left, but they win it. That's all that matters. They killed a fort beforehand, so they're in fantastic shape in terms of map control right now. KSV Black really shutting this down. So you see Phoenix actually holding that level 7 talent for just a moment here. We'll end up going into the combat advantage. So kind of going for more of the Q-based build here. Not full Q, but very strong against dive, because you're looking to slow these targets and they come to you, then you can do a lot of damage, burn through the clone, burn through the Genji when we get to those post-10 fights.
Here comes Jungha soaking in some damage. Genji tried to snipe on the socket, but not the best positioning that you want to keep yourself on. Get stunned.
SC is so dead.
Does not have an escape. He went in with the Swift Strike.
Yeah, he went in, couldn't get a reset. Very aggressive play from Ballistix, not respecting the damage output of Phoenix here. And now KSV Black with a fantastic lead here. 2 forts up. And they look like they might want to try to invade this Shaman camp. I don't know what the cooldown on that is. It's like long enough to where they're just going to back off and take the neutral camp instead.
Phoenix works so well with the Blaze. And Blaze, as long as he doesn't... You can also take the talent later on, but if you have that always spill on the ground, make sure the targets are slowed. And when Phoenix is right next to you, gets all that Q damage, and then when Salvo comes out, you do so much more damage with the slow. So the pairing up with these heroes, it is meant to be. They meant this to happen. They picked it together, and that's exactly why they want to have this pair up, and that's why Rich is going for this build.
Yeah, very well said. You have a lot of ways to empower Rich, protect him, allow him to do maximum damage. 10 around the corner here. Salvo is almost certainly what we're going to see, given that there's not a lot of ways to really set up for a big combo. For Planet Cracker, sure, you could taunt, you could root, you could stun, but really asking a lot. You can try to kill the Abathur with Planet Cracker. It's possible. It's been done before.
Yeah, it's a good snipe.
But it's, I don't know if you really want to pick your heroic talent based on that.
Yeah, make sure you have the maximum slow and then ignite for the damage. Later on, Kyo just maximizing the synergy with Rich.
It's going to be the Purification Salvo. No Planet Cracker.
Look at this push from the 5-man. They have so much pressure with
this. Is a winning trade for KSV Black, but Ballistix just
keep.
Yeah, they have to get Ballistix has to just let this go. I think they can't take a fight pre-10 against KSV Black, who snowballed this game so hard. They have to just get the fort so that they can try to catch up for 10. They're going to lose a keep. They're going to lose control of the macro for a long time because of this. But I think that they made the safer choice. It's really unfortunate. It's really sad that they had to make this tough decision. But what else could they have really done? Try to contest against one of the best teams in the world, defending global champions, when they're down a talent tier? It's a tough ask.
I think they made the right choice, the safer choice, to catch up to 10. They have it. Nothing unusual. Ancestral, Army, and Sanctification, and Dragon Blade. They will have that clone available, but so many tools. The Mighty Gust to disengage. The bunker. Here we go. SC diving in.
SC does dive in. Here's the Gust plus the Purification Salvo. Tons of damage being done here. SDE's clone not really having a huge impact. It survives. It's doing a little bit more damage to Tist in the front line, but he's got that armor. SC dives in yet again. Sank goes up, but everyone's already re-engaged. Look at Tist going in here, and Rich just untouched. He's in the backline. His positioning is too good. Does too much here with the Gust disengage, and this entire comp is shut down in seconds. The clone goes down. The real Genji goes down, SC, so they can just walk in here, win the halftime. And the more badly this goes, the worse it gets for Ballistix with that push in the bot lane. This is going to be a full health Immortal, full shields, pushing down towards their second keep. And KSV Black has almost nearly checkmated this team with good positioning, good draft against the Abathur clone. And the disengages so far have been successful.
Yeah, it was close. Rich was actually quite low, getting the heal from the Malfurion. But they actually sniped onto the right target, the real Genji, not the clone. And they got the kill onto the Genji. I'm pretty sure they were trying to defend that pretty well with their tank line. It was like a wave, tidal wave going back to the ocean, along with Rich just making sure that he has the room to do all that DPS damage. Ballistix, they were the one diving in. It was really tough to have that Ancestral when Rehgar was also pressured.
Oh, scouted out here is this dive. Rich, let's see where he positions himself. Look at the damage coming through from that Q, though, and the taunt. This may be game over for Ballistix. We're talking about KSV Black here. They're going to get a team wipe. Reset coming in onto Magi. That's another kill. That's 3 dead. And this is a full shielded Immortal. They're going to push in the bot lane with several catapult minions. This is easily keep. Easily keep. Probably keep before the shields are even gone on the Immortal. Jungha needs to make sure he doesn't overextend, but what can Ballistix do? Their dive comp was shut down twice now post-10. KSV Black having really safe positioning. And the question you asked was, is this enough damage? And it turns out with good positioning, no, it's not.
Yep, even the clone was not able to do so. Only once. They have window of time just to make it once more. Happen once more as CSC diving in onto Falstead. Reset taking a lot of damage, but he's alone. There's the clone.
Clone coming in, but he has the Gust. The Tranquility keeps him alive. There's the taunt. Bunker goes up. And Reset is going to survive here. And now all they need to do is finish off the core. Look at SC taking all that damage. Dies off screen here. Doesn't matter. This is going to be game over with a 9-1. Maybe make it a 10-1. Almost getting that kill there. Score for KSV Black. They take the first game in dominant fashion. Good positioning from Rich on this Phoenix. And the defensive Gust from Reset, the Falstad pick ended up being the perfect one to defend against these Abathur clones and the Genji dive.
In this case, where you have the entire team protecting that Phoenix,